injury, nothing. I don't feel any pains. I'm ready. Who is gonna be next? Let's do this, and I will make it easy.
He said it. He didn't just say it. He declared he would submit Islam Makhachev, not just anywhere, but right in front of Khabib Nurmagomedov himself. The audacity of Ilia Topuria reached a new level, asking Islam to reveal his favorite submission technique, promising to use it against him. This wasn't just a challenge, it was a brazen, almost disrespectful taunt, designed to pierce the formidable aura surrounding the lightweight king and his legendary mentor. The fighting world collectively held its breath, wondering if this was pure bravado or a sign of something truly unprecedented.
You know, not the most exciting title fight you'll ever see, but let me tell you what, complete dominance. And it's depending on what we do next with him and what's going on, this guy's headed toward.
Yet, Islam Makhachev met this astonishing provocation with his characteristic tranquility, a calm that belies an unyielding core. He affirmed his readiness for any opponent, maintaining that many fiercely crave his belt, but he won't let a single soul approach it. This wasn't a defensive posture, it was a strong, self-assured declaration of power. He made it clear that while others might voice ambitions, their desires would meet the stark reality of his reign, a reign he intends to extend indefinitely.
Great problem to have, you know what I mean? It's like there's so many, like when he started, he was walking through Shavkat and Usman and, you know, Ilia, and the list goes on and on. It's a great problem to have, especially when you start talking about this kid is a couple fights away from possible GOAT.
The White House itself has become an unexpected battleground for this brewing conflict. Topuria's initial tweet, demanding a fight on a presidential card, was met with Islam's swift, confident acceptance. "I'm ready. Who is going to be next? Let's do this. And I will make it easy." This wasn't just agreement, it was a promise of swift, decisive action, signaling that the Dagestani champion sees this as another opportunity to showcase his undisputed dominance, regardless of the unique political backdrop.
Islam's going to be number one. That's what I think. But it's not up to me. It's up to you guys. You guys are the guys voting on that shit, not me.
And if you had to, we know you like to do.
And you're usually wrong, so it'll probably be Ilia on
UFC President Dana White, ever the master of suspense, recently fueled the flames, hinting at enormous possibilities for Islam Makhachev's future. He specifically name-dropped Ilia Topuria, suggesting their clash is a strong contender for what's next. White's comments imply that as Islam continues to dismantle elite challengers, his supremacy becomes tougher to dispute, inching him closer to an almost mythical GOAT status, a term rarely tossed around so casually.
Agree. I would like to fight with Islam, that's for sure. I would like to fight him.
Adding another layer of controversy, Dana addressed the pound-for-pound rankings, asserting Islam is clearly the top pound-for-pound fighter. However, he stressed that the final decision rests with fan voting, a process he humorously, yet pointedly, criticized. White suggested that if the voting goes awry, as it often does, fans might incorrectly elevate Ilia Topuria, a subtle jab at public perception and the unpredictable nature of MMA fandom.
When would you like to fight next?
I wouldn't fight for a #1 contender.
Topuria, for his part, has displayed an almost obsessive focus on Islam. He previously stated his firm intention to fight Makhachev next, and no one else, even confidently turning down other high-profile bouts. Ilia's determination is fixed. He's advancing with a clear purpose, poised to speak what no other fighter would. His approach is straightforward, almost single-minded, demonstrating an impressive knack for building tension towards this potential super fight.
Yeah. It's hilarious. So one of the biggest things that happened in this fight is that when you look at JDM's pose and get back up and be able to get back into the gunfight, right? Islam did not allow it. Islam Makhachev did a good job of stifling, putting JDM in the mud. Each time JDM tried to get to a post to get back to the feet to wrestle, Islam Makhachev would attack that post, keeping JDM on his back. And then JDM didn't have any answer. He should fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. If he beats Ilia Topuria, he retires. Islam has plenty of money, right? Go out on your shield like Khabib did. A lot of people in MMA don't want to see that, but in mixed martial arts, us athletes, we stay too long.
Islam's tactical brilliance, particularly his ground game, goes beyond mere wrestling. It's an art form of oppressive top control. This was vividly demonstrated in his recent performance, where he stifled his opponent, repeatedly attacking their post whenever they attempted to stand. He kept his adversary grounded, offering no answers, illustrating a grappling mastery that consistently neutralizes elite competition and underpins his near-invincible reign.
Where do you have the advantage?
Have the advantage in everything. This is what I truly believe. I would ask him, like, what's your favorite submission? I'm gonna submit you with that.
This is a guy that's trained and coached by Khabib, who, 28-0, never lost a round.
I take him close to Khabib. I will submit him closer to Khabib.
You'll submit him in front of Khabib.
Yeah. Khabib used to take people and he shoulder take them down and talk to them. I would do it to Khabib. Like, I will take him.
Gonna talk to Khabib.
Talk to Khabib. Khabib, I have to do it. All the respect, but this is how I feel. I feel that I submit. I would ask him, like, which one is your favorite? Darts.
So
I truly believe that I submit him with the darts or whatever. I don't know. Tell me, which one's your favorite? Don't tell me a hell hook or some bullshit submissions.
Whispers in the MMA community have even suggested a potential retirement for Islam should he defeat Topuria in a White House spectacle. The idea is for him to emulate his mentor, Khabib, by going out on his shield at the peak of his career, with plenty of money earned. While many fans dread the thought of him leaving the sport prematurely, it's a dramatic scenario that underscores the monumental stakes if this unprecedented White House clash materializes.
Like, I want to fight against Islam, which I would love to do it, no problem. Like,
you mean next, but eventually, you guys keep winning, we will see that fight.
You think so? Hopefully. I would say. Why not? Why not? If the UFC wants to make that fight happen, they're gonna make that happen. But I don't know if they want to make it happen. If so, I'm gonna be.
Topuria's confidence borders on supreme self-belief. He's gone on record stating he'd not only ground the welterweight champion, but submit him, even without hesitation in front of Khabib. When asked where he held the advantage against Makhachev, Topuria unequivocally declared, "I have the advantage in everything." Such bold claims, especially against a fighter of Islam's caliber, create an explosive narrative, positioning Topuria as a truly fearless contender.
Ilia Topuria, in fact, he just called you out online, calling you boring. Do you have a message for Ilia? Do you want to fight him?
Yes, I want to fight the biggest name in this sport. Yeah, I'm ready for anyone, and I feel like big difference in the welterweight, and I'm gonna be here a long time. Somebody, if you want, guys, jump in.
Adding a shocking twist, Topuria revealed private discussions where he was directly advised against pursuing Islam. The cautionary words even extended to not ascending to welterweight after his next fight, implying there are unseen forces or strategic considerations that suggest this fight might not be in his best interest. This revelation hints at a deeper game at play, perhaps a protective measure or a calculated maneuver by those close to him.
Ilia Matador Topuria. Of course, these two don't like one another, and they do seem destined to fight at some stage. And of course, we know Islam just went out and dominated Jack Della Maddalena from start to finish. I'll give you my thoughts on that. We're going to say stuff like that because they want to fight each other. So he's trying to poke the bear and he's trying to get that matchup. Ilia says that Islam ran away to 170 because he was scared of Ilia and all the rest of it.
He knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib.
That's what.
Despite these behind-the-scenes advisories, Ilia remains unpersuaded and fully prepared. He's expressed doubt that the UFC truly wants to make the fight happen, based on what he's heard. Yet, paradoxically, he wouldn't be surprised if they suddenly arranged it, because he's ready to step in at a moment's notice. This contradictory stance underscores his intense desire for the challenge, regardless of the perceived reluctance from higher up.
Fight with Jack Della Maddalena was boring and he just turned a lot of fans off. Well, was he boring when he went out there and choked out Renato Moicano in the first round? Was he boring when he choked out Dustin Poirier in the 5th round and got a performance bonus, defended the title 4 times, by the way? Was he boring when he knocked out Alexander Volkanovski the 2nd time by a head kick in the very first round? Topuria is going to come out and say that because he wants that fight. Could you imagine if Ilia Topuria was afforded the ability to go up and become a 3-weight division champion? Again, I say it all the time. No one's ever done that. And I don't think that's what's going to happen here just
Islam, in a subtle but firm reprimand to Topuria, highlighted the vast disparity between welterweight and light, indirectly cautioning Topuria about the challenge he's inviting. His statement was a method of reminding Ilia of his proper status, and conveying Islam's own fearlessness, a quiet warning that stepping into his territory, especially at his current weight class, would be a true test against a deeply established champion.
No, UFC want to do some big fight in White House. Which fight is gonna be bigger than this? I know he's gonna fight soon. He want to fight in White House, and I also want to be there. If UFC want this fight, we can do this. If I have to cut 155, then I might have to pay.
Michael Bisping weighed in, asserting that a fight between Islam and Topuria is not only inevitable, but could unfold sooner than later. He pointed to the growing animosity and constant jabs from Ilia, including fabricating untrue stories about Makhachev climbing to welterweight as part of a calculated game by fighters to taunt opponents until a clash becomes undeniable, pushing the UFC's hand.
Nations are not represented.
Right now, with Topuria Islam, it can be biggest fight, not John Johnson Pereira. I think if you're making White House fight, it's have to be more American fighters. If Georgian fighter fight against Russian fighter, it's not interesting in front of White House. It's have to be American fighters represent their country and they fight against us.
Topuria's direct taunt labeling Makhachev as boring adds another layer to their escalating rivalry. This isn't merely an insult, it's a strategic jab designed to provoke Islam and sway public opinion. In the high-stakes world of combat sports, such accusations can be powerful, forcing a champion to either defend his reputation or prove his excitement in the octagon, ultimately driving interest for the super fight.
Dana White addressing the UFC clash, asserting Islam. Makhachev is clearly the top pound-for-pound fighter. Still, he stressed that the rankings are, and added that if the voting goes awry, as it often does, Ilia Topuria could.
Bisping quickly rebutted the boring claim, passionately defending Islam's track record. He reminded everyone of Makhachev's thrilling fifth-round chokeout of Dustin Poirier and his spectacular first-round head kick knockout of Alexander Volkanovski in their second encounter. Bisping asserted that only those desperate to see Islam fall, or those pushing Topuria's narrative, could genuinely call such a dominant and finishing fighter boring.
But if they don't give you that fight, if they give you like a #1 contender fight,
the grander vision for Ilia Topuria involves an unprecedented feat, becoming a three-weight division champion. While Bisping expressed skepticism that this specific outcome would materialize, the sheer ambition is staggering. No one has ever accomplished such a feat in the UFC, underscoring the monumental challenge Topuria envisions, aiming not just for a title but for an indelible mark in combat sports history. Despite the political undertones, Islam Makhachev remains focused on the fight itself, asserting his readiness for the White House confrontation. He believes there could be what bigger match than this, emphasizing its significance. He even stated his willingness to make the 155-pound cut if the UFC truly wants the fight to happen, showcasing his dedication to delivering on such a high-profile stage. The commercial appeal of a White House fight is undeniable for the UFC. Manichin Valdez echoed this sentiment, stating emphatically that if the organization truly wants to stage it, they will stage it. This highlights the significant market value and potential viewership such a unique high-stakes bout would command, suggesting that the ultimate decision will likely come down to strategic and financial calculations by the promotion. Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam's legendary mentor, introduced a controversial new dimension to the White House fight concept. While he conceded it could be one of the biggest fights out there, he argued that if it's held at the White House, it must include more American fighters. He controversially dismissed a Georgia versus Russia matchup as not interesting for such a venue, implying a need for national representation. Khabib elaborated on his stance, stating, "If you're Georgia and fight against Russian fighters, it's not interesting in front of White House. It's have to be American fighters. Represent the country and they fight against us." This strong geopolitical take injects a complex layer into an already heated rivalry, suggesting that for Khabib, the symbolism of the venue demands a particular national narrative, possibly complicating the fight's arrangement. As this high-stakes drama unfolds, Islam Makhachev is concentrating on bringing back order to a lightweight division he undeniably rules, while Ilia Topuria aims to stun the world once more. This clash isn't just about a belt, it's about two distinct philosophies converging, one built on disciplined dominance and the other on audacious, world-shaking ambition, both destined for a collision course that promises fireworks. The entire narrative is poised on a knife's edge, balancing Islam's march toward GOAT status with Topuria's bold quest for unprecedented three-weight glory. Every word, every taunt, every strategic hint from Dana White adds fuel to this inferno, creating a palpable anticipation that few fights can ever truly generate, cementing their paths as two of the most compelling figures in modern combat sports. So, the ultimate question looms large. Will the private discussions and Khabib's controversial White House stipulations ultimately derail this monumental clash? Or will the raw, undeniable ambition of these two titans force the UFC's hand, delivering a fight for the ages that transcends sport and becomes a true cultural phenomenon? The world awaits.